Emily Spins It. I'm Emily, and today I have Candi Carpenter with me. Hey, Candi, how are you?
Hey, I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for joining us. So you're calling in from Nashville, so that's why we're virtual today, but we have plenty of fun stuff. So I have a little bit of a bio you sent over. So first of all, two heavy hitter quotes you sent. First being, Brandi Carlile says, Candi has a story to tell in a voice that is honestly out of this world. And then Dolly Parton says, Candi is one of the greatest singer-songwriters I've ever heard, bar none. That's insanity. Two huge names. Yeah.
My life
awesome.
makes no sense to me.
That's such a huge accomplishment that you even know them. So jealous. Okay.
I don't know how. I think if you're just in Nashville long enough.
Yeah, you just run into that. That's like here. I think if you're here long enough, you run into I don't even know, Heather's seen Jack Antonoff just out.
Oh, that's cool.
But so you are a rock and alternative singer, songwriter, producer. You are open about your queerness. You are non-binary. You have autism, and you use your music to grapple with toxic religion, sexuality, identity, and existential beauty of existence.
Pretty much. It depends on the day whether or not I think it's a beautiful existence or
yeah.
So, a trash fire, which is why I'm sitting in one right now.
Trash fire. Normally my first question is, when did you decide music is your path? But that was not really something you had to decide, right? That you just practically came out playing. So do you want to take us a little through your story and your journey?
I was born into a family band.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was a Christian Missionary Alliance pastor, and we had just a singing group. A singing group is what Southern gospel bands call themselves so very often. Ours was my grandpa on steel guitar, my dad singing lead, my mom playing keys. Originally the band was called Heaven Sent, but then we changed the name of the band to the Carpenters with an apostrophe S.
Yeah.
Because we belonged to Jesus. They thought, I think the apostrophe was enough to differentiate us from the very famous group, the Carpenters. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how many times I get asked, "Are you Richard and Karen's child?"
And I'm just say yes, honestly.
Well, that would be a devastating and very disturbing story considering they're brother and sister. And I think people. People
I didn't even
constantly.
Then you should say you're just one of them then. Just somebody's child, not both.
I am of no relation to the famous Carpenters. I am the child of Tom and Sandy Carpenter. And that's how I got my start. Sandy and Candi. Yes. Yep. Candi Carpenter is my name, and it just really doesn't sound like a name for a person. It sounds like a store, like a Christmas candy store at the mall where there would be the little elf with a little tool belt building gingerbread houses, and it would be called the Candi Carpenter or something. But it doesn't sound like a person.
Precious. But I see where you're coming from. It does give stage name a little, so it's really funny that that's your real name.
I know. I was predestined for this. I had no real choice. So I was, immediately as a kid playing tambourine in the band, learning how to play guitar, and just when you're born into it, you're born into it.
Yeah. So that's where you started, and then so you've been playing for a long time. You've mentioned you've been in Nashville a while, but this iteration of the music you're making is relatively new, right? During the pandemic, you decided that you were going to pursue alternative.
Yeah, I don't think that I could have gone any further in the opposite direction from the music I was making as a child with my family band to where I am today. I am known as an ex-evangelical artist, so many of my songs tackle leaving toxic and abusive religion, and I have sort of inadvertently made that my platform. When I was in country, I was working with a lot of people that didn't want me to speak out about my political views, really about my views, right? It was just shut up and sing. That was the attitude. Yeah, I don't think that's absolutely. I don't think that's something that I could live with myself doing. And I guess obviously I made the choice not to. I think life would have been a lot easier if I had just shut my mouth. I've never understood the concept of shutting up and singing because I don't think you can do both at the same time.
I don't think so either.
Your mouth is open when you are singing. So I just, keep it open all the time.
What were some of the early inspirations you had then as a kid? So was it a lot of gospel music, or were you able to listen to anything like secular? Like what was shaping you as a musician?
May I ask, did you grow up in the church? Because so few people know the term secular music unless you were part of it.
No, but Heather did. Heather grew up Southern Baptist. I grew up Catholic, so...
Gotcha. My ex grew up atheist.
Okay.
And he had never heard terms like secular music. I'm saying all this stuff that I think everyone knows. And he's like, what are you talking about? And that's how I found out really what a closed group I grew up in.
Yeah.
And how culty it was. It was, the Christian Missionary Alliance isn't like a massive sect, and actually the Children of God cult, one of the most egregious and devastating cults that I've learned about. I had a friend that grew up in it, and it was an offshoot of the Christian Missionary Alliance. The CMA was not the same. It wasn't the same type of abuse. It was, I would consider, more traditional religious abuse, which is a very sad sentence to utter, but it was a strange way to grow up, for sure. And I think hymns, gospel music, they're a big part of what inspires my melody writing still, because it's ingrained in me. I listened to secular country music growing up. I think my mom and dad found that to be the most I use a lot of air quotes because I don't agree with these statements, but like the most family friendly secular music. I think they thought it was the closest thing to Christian music because so many country artists were, professed they were Christian, put Christian messages in some of the songs that made it to the radio. So, like, I got away with some of that stuff. I really loved Leanne Rimes because she was just a couple years older than me when I was a kid. I wanted to be just like her. And, like, obscure Southern gospel bands like Karen Peck and New River. I don't know if you're familiar.
No, but okay.
Yeah. Like people that had names like the Black River Boys, or just there was like usually like a river or like a location in the title, and then it was either like family or boys was the name of every name. You could put it in a generator. Wendy Bagwell in the Sunlighters, if you really want to listen to something that sounds like a fever dream, check them out.
Okay.
And wild stuff. So I grew up with a very confusing group of influences. And then in middle school, my friends started burning CDs from Napster for me of Blink-182 and Linkin Park, a lot of the influences I have now, and giving them to me. And then I would hide them in my room. When my mom and dad were at work, I would listen to all the cool music, from my friends at school. I don't know if I would have even become a singer if first of all, not having been born into the band would have been the first thing. But I was so unpopular at school as an undiagnosed autistic neurodivergent kid. There was something different about me, and I didn't know what it was, and neither did anyone else. But when I sang at talent shows or around at school, people liked me for a minute. So I got some validation. I got treated like a normal kid for a second. Normal, whatever that is. And I wanted to keep chasing that. I wanted to keep chasing that feeling of just being accepted by a group of people. And I kept doing it. I kept singing. I ended up working with some folks in Michigan, where I'm from, at the Michigan Country Music Hall of Fame. And I was a kind of champion yodeler as a kid.
Incredible.
Adults with bands that were more successful than myself in the area would bring me out to be the local kid yodeler.
Phenomenal.
And I was taken to Nashville with one of the people I opened for, who was, allegedly the son of a famous person. His name was Farron Young. This guy was supposed to be Farron Young's son. And, Farron was a legendary country artist.
Yeah, that name sounds familiar.
Yeah, my mom and dad and I were really impressed. And we went down there with him, and I was a kid. He said a bunch of creepy things to me. That is a theme that continued all through my childhood in the entertainment industry. But we met someone through him who wanted to be my manager. My mom and dad took me out of school and moved me to Nashville with this lady they barely knew. We lived in a hotel room for a long time. Then we got an apartment. She ended up connecting with a Grand Ole Opry legend named Jack Green. He was the first CMA male vocalist of the year, and the sweetest human being. And it was a really sad story. He had Alzheimer's, and I was a kid out of school living with her, and she was a con artist, and she started booking shows for the two of us all over the place, matching rhinestone jackets. I would do half of the show because Jack was struggling to make it through an hour and a half performance and remember all the words. So it was really a way for her to take advantage of him and keep him working.
Yeah.
And,
even when he was no longer fit to. Yeah.
He wasn't. He should have been enjoying his retirement with his kids. And, she took that opportunity away from all of them.
Yeah.
And I'm just out there, I don't even know what's happening to me anymore. I'm not realizing the situation I'm in, how abusive it is, how I'm not.
You're a kid.
Well, and I was no longer allowed to talk to my family unsupervised.
That's crazy.
It was a very dark time. I had to the only way I could get away from her was by running away from her. And I got a lot of stage experience. I got to grow up backstage at the Opry, but those were the only times I was allowed to leave the house. I was just kept in the house all the rest of the time doing the cleaning. She kept a doorbell box in my room and kept the button with her. And all day, whenever she needed anything, she would just ring that bell. So it's like pretty recent where I can hear a doorbell and not have a panic attack. And
wow,
it's been a fucking journey. And
that's horrible.
I feel like I've lived so many lifetimes in this lifetime.
Yeah. I imagine so.
Right now, things are peaceful.
That's
Earlier
great.
we had to stop the podcast because my boyfriend's 6-year-old, who's just adorable and awesome, was like playing joyfully in the next room, and it was just like bleeding over for me into my headphones. And it's like, I love that I'm at a point in my life where that is my biggest problem, is that I just need a little bit of quiet to film a podcast with a new friend. Like coming from
there's so much joy happening in another room. Yeah.
And also so much, I get to reclaim so much of what was taken from me at that age and growing up by getting to be a source of joy for her and getting to we went to the zoo yesterday. I mean, it's really fun. Yeah,
that's so healing, I bet, and special. And what a lovely way for her to grow up too, with you being an active member in her life.
Well, I'm thankful that I know what not to do. I mean, she's a very talented kid, and if somebody, came, I think though, now getting to be, someone in this role in her life, if she was approached at 14, being so talented, she's a beautiful voice, I shudder to think that she'll probably go into music, and if someone approached me and her family, and they were like, we want to just take her to another state. We're going to move her into a hotel room, and then we're going to perform. We're going to have her perform every night in the bars on Lower Broadway. Mm-hmm. I would just be like, you must be out of your mind.
Yeah, you must be joking. Yeah.
Yes. It's really hard. It's really hard now, even more so, to accept what happened to me, because I would never allow that.
Yeah.
I don't understand. And my therapist says I need to stop trying to.
Yeah,
that's where I'm at.
I mean, I don't have children, so I can't speak to that. Even not biological children, there are no children in my life. But I'd imagine it's a very confronting mirror. Yeah, just to be like, wait a second, how did this happen when I'm looking at the same situation now and going, there's no way that would happen. Yeah, I'm so sorry.
I don't know. It's just something. It's weird. Now when I talk about it, I don't get triggered anymore. I can talk about it because it feels like I'm describing a really weird movie that I saw. It feels like I'm talking about the movie Mommy Dearest or something, and it's like a dark movie that I watched, but it feels more like just a scene from something I saw on Netflix.
It means you've processed it and you've been able to grow from it. Yeah, wow.
That was the only option. The option was either process it. It took a long time, And a lot of repeating the pattern of allowing unsafe people into my life. I have always likened it to a staircase. Like, I got dumped into the worst possible situation with the worst possible people, and then everyone you meet on your way climbing out of there is someone that was at least like close by the pit. So you're just kind of meeting slightly better people until you're all the way out and you see the sun.
Yeah,
so,
and then the people who are up there, at least, yeah.
Things are good now. I've got great people around me.
That's really, really good.
Thank you.
Glad. So, sorry, to bring it back to your music, though, that's part of what Demonology was about, right? Your debut album, you've said it was your way of exercising these personal demons and coming to terms with who you are. So what were some of the conversations you were having with yourself while these changes were coming to light?
That's a great question. Thank you. Yeah, I was not out as anything that I'm out as now, proudly. Like, I hadn't, told my family, or even, at the time I had a very small group of supporters, but like, I hadn't revealed to anyone that I was bi or that I was non-binary, or really, I really didn't know myself when I started writing that record.
I didn't imagine so. You kind of had been told who you were for so long. It was finally time.
Oh my gosh. When I go back through a lot of old interview footage and stuff, I'm always like, who is this person? I was masking so heavily before I knew what masking meant. And either smiling too much, like, there was a while I had a southern accent. I think I was just, I didn't know how autistic brains can so often mirror what we're around, and I hadn't been diagnosed. When I wrote Nervous System, I had not been diagnosed with autism yet. I thought I was writing the most relatable song that everyone would understand and like agree with. So
it is a good song. I
mean, I went in for like an ADHD diagnosis with my regular therapist and psychiatrist, and they're like, well, I think there might be some other things going on here we need to screen for, and I went to get screened after writing the song. But I think that even if I hadn't been screened, TikTok would have told me, because
yeah, they do.
All my fellow autistic friends started gravitating to the song, going, "You're one of us, one of us." So if a doctor hadn't diagnosed me first, the internet would have. But yeah, writing Demonology absolutely introduced me to myself, and also helped me realize that the parts of myself that were demonized growing up, all the things that I was told were sinful, or the devil's influence. Literally, like, my family band opened for a self-proclaimed exorcist at a church in rural Ohio, and he told a story about how he believed that all mental health conditions were the cause of demonic influence. And I took that to heart, knowing there was something different about me. And so, I spent a good bit of my childhood believing I was possessed by demons, and that's what my problem was, and trying to perform exorcisms on myself. This is the kind of stuff, like, people think that it's just really harmless to take a kid to church. And I ended up rubbing cooking oil all over myself in my bedroom when my parents went to sleep, because I thought I had a demon in my body. And this is the stuff that I was getting in what was supposed to be like a safe, wholesome church experience. Y'all, don't take your kids to church until they're old enough to understand what they're hearing, till you're old enough to have those conversations. I'm never here to police anybody's faith. If that faith allows you to love people better and to forgive yourself and to treat other people with the same respect you expect to be treated with, regardless of their beliefs, as long as those beliefs don't hurt anyone.
Yeah, and I also think your church shouldn't shut you down if you're questioning something. Like, that's crazy. Like, the fact that you didn't feel like you could go and be like, hey, I'm thinking these things, but does that mean I'm possessed by demons? And some, like, rational adult who you should have been able to trust wasn't like, no. Like, that's okay, it's a misunderstanding, like, we'll work through it. Like, the fact that they just kind of, like, let you run with it is absolutely unfair.
I know that if I had sat down with my family and told them my concern, they would have been helping me with the exorcisms. Like, it wouldn't have been... because when I was, like I remember asking for therapy and being shunned and insulted for it. That was not, I didn't grow up in an environment where anything was allowed to be wrong with your mind. If there was something wrong with you, it was a sin nature thing. So, you couldn't ask for help when you needed it. Demonology taught me that, like, those demons, those fake cooking oil demons, were actually just me. Like, they were actually,
and there's nothing wrong with them. Yeah.
No, they were just my personality. And the reason why things were so weird and hard for me is because I was trying to repress all the parts of me that made me me. And as soon as I stopped, things got a lot easier. I mean, I'm still playing a lot of catch up. I feel like I'm behind.
Yeah.
But at least I don't think I'm going to go to hell someday, and that is a win.
Yeah. I would agree.
I'll take that as a small victory.
So it was through this writing that you were able to, like, find these new parts of you and address them and bring them to light.
Yeah, and stop hating them,
And stop hating them, yeah.
Like, I talked, before we started filming the interview, and you're kind of asking me if there's anything I wanted to avoid talking about, I was just like, not really. Because I think once you've told the internet multiple times that you grew up thinking there was a demon inside you and you were trying to use, like, vegetable oil to exercise it, like, there's really not much left that you...
I also think continuing to tell it also somehow strips it of its power, because, like, you've continued to be like, this happened to me, you can't shame me for it, you can't, it's not a secret, like, you've kind of, like, pulled the curtain back on the boogeyman, so to speak, and shone a light on it, and it's like, this is it, like, this is me, what are we gonna do, we just gotta keep going, like...
Well, that's why I wear this shirt all the time now. It's an autism-powered fuck machine, and I just started... I wore it on a whole tour as a joke, and then people really liked it and thought it was funny. And I'm like, I don't want to have to think about what I'm going to wear all the time. That takes a lot of energy. And I think, like, there are so many people on the internet that love to say, well, everyone's autistic these days, and that's not true. It's just more people are...
Yeah, they're just more aware of it.
Learning about themselves and having access to knowledge and information about themselves and feeling like they can talk about it because it's becoming less stigmatized. So I'm going to wear this shirt until I feel like,
it's time for a different one.
Until I stop getting so many insulting comments about the shirt, then I'll stop wearing it. Like, I'm just going to piss off as many, like, angry men online as I can, and then I'll switch up. I'll wear a different shirt.
With a very loud statement.
I'll wear something worse.
Keep pushing the boundary.
I don't think... I crucified myself on a telephone pole in a Burger King crown and American flag skirt, so I don't know how much further I can push it. I think I'm trying to bring it back in a little bit.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
We did it.
Just like a little bit. Yeah, I already did that. Do you know how many times? Yeah, I had to stop. Like, American God is my second most streamed song, but I can't really advertise it on the internet because every time I do, I get almost banned on the platform. I think that I'm on several lists now.
And what a way to live.
If they arrest me for that,
well,
I will say, like, I know the food will be awful in prison, but as an autistic person, the structure of having someone else, they're just like, this is when you're going to be eating, this is when you're going to be outside, and then the rest of the time, I just sit alone in a room. If they're coming to threaten me with prison, that actually sounds like what I'm trying to work toward in my life right now. Yeah. The food doesn't sound good, but, like, I'll adjust. But, like, that much time alone? Are you kidding me? Let's go. Scheduled visits.
Yeah, exactly.
No one drops by. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, no, if that's what
joke's on you guys. Sounds like a great vacation.
Oh, you mean I have to wear the same thing every day like I already
There's structured outside time.
The hardest, I know that I won't be able to keep my hair blue. I'll have to accept that. It takes a lot of maintenance. But you know what? Other than that, come, I don't, it's not ideal,
you'll
but
be
I would
fine.
be okay.
You'd live.
I'll
until- yeah.
survive. Yeah.
Well, actually, since you brought up American God, that brings me to the next few questions, which is, so since Demonology, you have released American God, The Fear of Being Human, Friday Night, Inside the Simulation, Little Freak, and most recently, Biblically Accurate Angel. So what does this new chapter of your work represent for you? Because we've moved on past Demonology now. So what's this? This seems like a lot of a bit more like human commentary, semantic capitalism in there. What is this new chapter for you?
Friday Night is a totally separate chapter. I am so obsessed with...
Doesn't sound like the others as much.
Well, are you a fan of the Tim Robinson classic television show, I Think You Should Leave?
I have seen some of it. I'm familiar with it. I haven't seen all of it, but I was he was on SNL, I remember, and like I'm a huge SNL fan, so I've been aware of him for a minute. Yeah.
Well, and this is the lore. Apparently, when Lorne Michaels fired Tim Robinson from SNL for being too weird and for making sketches he said no one would like because they were too weird, he said, "I think you should leave." And then,
there you go.
And then Tim Robinson, in the most like badass thing, he just names his show after getting fired from his dream job, and then becomes one of the most important culturally relevant comedians of our time. Yeah, I love that. That's so encouraging to me. Whenever something bad happens, whenever a disappointment comes my way, I think of Tim, and I think
he's absolutely like so surpassed what he ever would have been able to achieve on SNL.
Can you imagine though how devastated he was when I'm sure Lorne Michaels was a hero to him growing up.
I'm so sure.
And then to have your hero say, "You're not funny. People don't like what you do. Leave. I think you should leave." And then for him to just transmute that into a show that inspires so many creatives. Yeah.
He's so very authentically him as well.
Oh my God. It's so much a part of my personality now. Just little lines from the show. Heather, I'm sure you understand what I'm saying. You can throw it in I Think You Should Leave quote in pretty much any situation. But the music on the show, the songs that he writes for the show with his friends that they never release are bangers. They're bangers. So I kept trying to find them on Spotify, and I kept finding that I couldn't. They're beautiful. They're beautiful melodies. Yeah. There's one song called Wild On. I actually tagged it in the end of Friday Night. That it just kind of almost brings me to tears. The melody's so pretty. And my goal is to record everything from the show that hasn't been recorded and released anywhere that I can find it, so that fans like myself can put that on a playlist at a barbecue and jam out. It may not. We all would rather it be Tim and not me. I also would rather it be Tim, but he's not doing it, so I'm doing it until he does it.
So
yeah,
okay.
I've got a cover of Robert Palin's "The Night the Skeletons Came to Life" coming out with my friend's bluegrass band in a couple months. We are on top of this, so that's a separate project. Okay, that is just me obsessively stalking Tim Robinson on the internet, essentially, until he acknowledges that I exist and I get to interact with him in some significant way.
I'm currently doing that with Meg Stelter, so I...
As you should.
I'm currently actively asking her to come on the show, like, more often than I am comfortable doing.
Hey, this can be our clip. Meg Stelter, please, come on the podcast. We're all waiting for you. You are truly the most beautiful, talented, and incredible woman in America. And we know that.
So true. Yeah.
We need you to come on this show to inspire. Yeah.
To share your journey,
Share.
Yeah, or Tim Robinson. Somebody come on this show.
Patty Harrison, come on with Meg. And then bring me on to guest host, because I'm also sort of internet stalking Patty. So
okay, so
she's my hero too.
Tag team this one. Yeah. All right, I like this plan.
I think, honestly, sometimes I'm more inspired by comedians than, I listen to more comedy than I do music. I need, maybe because my life has been so fucked up that I need to laugh.
You're a little bit over the music industry, to be honest.
Yeah, listening to music feels like work to me. It feels like I'm, I can't just enjoy a track without picking it apart, like trying to figure out how they compress the vocal or what's going on with the guitar part. Yeah.
I totally know what you mean. Yeah.
There's a cat hair in my nose.
That's all right.
You can leave that in the show. That's not going to surprise anyone.
That's okay. I'm currently looking at a cat hair on my keyboard, so I get it.
It's just everywhere. It's just like
Everywhere.
glitter, really.
There's no escaping it, yeah.
So the rest of their EP.
Yeah. Say the other music.
After Demonology, I kind of didn't know what to do because...
Yeah. That was such a huge chunk of yourself to put out. Yeah.
It was, and it didn't really get its flowers. By the time it came out, I was very encouraged to make this record by my team at the time. And then, they worked predominantly with country artists. And then by the time my record was done, and like I think that not everyone, listened to it with a resounding applause and approval for it, because when you're playing it for folks outside of the genre wanting positive encouragement about the project, that's so much about leaving the church, questioning God, questioning the American God, because
it's not subtle.
No, but it's just also about my experience.
It's very, very raw and personal. Yeah,
it's never like Everybody Goes to Hell, for instance. That song, it doesn't say you're wrong for what you believe. It says somewhere out there is somebody that, like, no matter what you believe, no matter who you are, there's someone out there who thinks you're doing it wrong and that you're going to hell. That's just true. But people listen to songs that question hard truths, and they hear what they want to hear, regardless of what you're saying. It can be hard for folks to empathize and not feel attacked by art. And I don't fault them for that. When they listen to my music, they're going to be listening to it from the place they're currently at. And when I was still actively evangelical, I might have felt attacked and felt like I needed to witness to that person as well, which is precisely why I created the record. It's not, I know I'm going to get hate for being a blue-haired, non-binary, autistic person online questioning the church. I'm aware. And that's why I do it, is to make people talk to each other about these things. Even if it's an argument about religion and faith, it makes people stop and ask themselves why they believe what they do. And maybe they'll double down on that belief, but maybe they'll start to see some holes in the fabric. Maybe they'll start to have a conversation with their mom for the first time about what they think and believe. Like, this has happened a lot. These songs make people talk to each other. That's the hope. And I have to be careful. Sometimes I'll get a comment that just really frustrates me, and I used to engage. It would help the algorithm for me to engage, and I'm just trying to let those sit there. I have to protect my peace to keep doing this. I don't want to. I'm really trying to be a source of light, not the other way around. And these songs, this EP, were written just very differently. My first album, I wrote everything on my acoustic guitar, one at a time, kind of in order, an album order. And this time I went to LA. I did a lot of writing to tracks with some really talented people. So it came together differently. And it was a great thing to try. I tried a lot of different genres on, because talking about how I grew up, I never got to experiment with my sound and figure out what really works for me, what I had fun doing on this project that I don't want to keep doing, but that was really great to try. I got to try on these different versions of myself. So the EP is called Reincarnation, because I do believe in reincarnation in a metaphysical way, but also one reason I believe so strongly in reincarnation is because in one human lifetime, you become so many different people, so many different versions of yourself, literally and figuratively. I think it's every 7 years, all of your cells are different. I think that's right.
I think so too. Yeah.
We're constantly someone else. I am unrecognizable today from who I was 10 years ago, even 5 years ago. So it's about all of the different people that we are in this one lifetime, and learning to love and forgive all of them, learning to make space for all of them, not to feel cringe looking back on those versions of ourselves that were just also little us's trying their best.
Just trying their best.
I was always just, even when I was fucking failing at it, I was always trying my best. And I think this EP really helped lead me to the sound that I'm embracing for my next full-length album that I'm working on now. And I always wanted to connect all of my music videos so that like someday when I'm gone, people can watch every single music video I've ever released as kind of one long movie. And
cool.
I got to thanks. I got to start with this project. Yeah. So we actually have a short film coming out co-starring my friend Jane Weedland from the Go-Go. She plays my love interest.
I was going to ask you, that's in my list of things to ask you about, is what's up with Jane, man? How awesome. How lucky. How cool.
That was
she
crazy.
Plays your love interest. Okay.
She plays the biblically accurate angel.
She does. Yes.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. That's so cool.
I'm excited for this project. I'm excited we're having a movie premiere for it. That'll be a first for me. Yeah. And it'll be nice to move forward on more new stuff. It's always kind of scary, but I think since I put less pressure on myself for this EP, it's kind of given me time to open up my heart to letting go a little bit of demonology and
embracing whatever's
leaning
next.
into what's next.
Okay, so you touched on Biblically Accurate Angel. That's the first song we're gonna play today. Can you maybe talk about this song and what it means and how you came up with it?
Biblically Accurate Angel was inspired by a stripper that I saw at a topless bar and grill in Los Angeles. And I think that the concept for a business of a topless bar and grill is so upsetting. And I think that I don't know why people want to be eating hot wings while looking at hot people. Yeah. I think that is so gross to me, having like saucy fingers, and then I don't know. It's
to look
a
at
sensory
like a gorgeous
nightmare.
Person. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gross. But I was there because I had a friend who got a job there as a waitress or as a server, and I went to support her on her first day of work there. I'd just flown into LA. Thank you. I try to be supportive, and then I was there, and I got in for free because of my friend. So I'm sitting there, and I'm pretty broke, so I'm just there, and this is the most beautiful woman I had ever seen, and she's dancing and she's spinning around, and there's like a big fresco painting of heaven on the ceiling. Yeah, she looks like an angel, but like a scary one,
like the ones in the Bible.
I was afraid to talk to her, and so I never spoke to her. But the next day, I had to co-write, and I wrote an entire song about her. So I'm like the creepy Heather Delilah situation. Where I didn't know her. I'm not sure what her name is, but she was very beautiful, and so I would like to thank her for the song idea.
Okay.
Yeah. Normally, I have like very interesting, deep, personal stories. I do not.
No, that's
Pretty
okay.
Pretty girl was dancing,
and you were scared.
Yeah. I wanted to talk to Pretty Girl and could not.
Well, all right, let's put that one in now. Welcome back. So we have a second song today, and that song you also touched on briefly is Nervous System. So this is from Demonology, but this song is just clever, and I was excited when you said you wanted to talk about it. So can you tell us a little bit about Nervous System?
Well, I'm, as I mentioned, very neurodivergent and very stressed out a lot of the time. And yeah, I wanted to write a very relatable song. I thought everyone felt that way, and maybe we just didn't talk about it. And maybe to some extreme extent that's true. But I will say it does seem to be my fellow neurodivergent folks who gravitate to this song the most. I don't see a lot of neurotypical folks blasting this in their car. I would not have ever imagined that Nervous System was going to be my most popular song. I really didn't think so. I'm trying to think. I think I thought Memento Mori might have been, or I'm just always wrong. Like, I'm always wrong with which songs of mine are going to connect.
In songwriting, yeah.
I think you just get too close to something.
Yeah, I think that's what happens. Yeah.
I love Nervous System. Don't get me wrong. I don't put something out unless I'm proud of it for the most part.
Sure.
There have been some exceptions. There have been, but this is a song about what goes on the inside of my brain. It is a mess.
Well, I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed it, so I'm excited to play it, and let's play it now.
I lied to my doctor about how much I drink and smoke, sitting in an office surrounded by inspirational quotes. He asks about my income and level of education. In the Middle Ages, they used to do this thing called trepanation, a procedure where the surgeon drills a hole into your skull to let the evil spirits out and take the pressure off. The precursor to lobotomy before neurobiology. My eyes dart around anxiously. I have a nervous system. I'm nervous all the time. I'm a lot like Hannibal. I'm just a cannibal, eating myself alive. I have a nervous system.
We have one more song. You briefly touched on it. It's coming out in early September, and it is called Reincarnation. So do you want to tell us about this one, since it's new and we haven't heard it yet?
I'm very excited for this song to come out. It's one of my favorites that I've ever released, not just off the CP. I love the song so much. And actually, I started writing it with a couple of really good friends after my cat passed away.
Oh, I'm
And it makes me want to cry. I hadn't really thought about that for a minute. She was my baby child. Like, we were close. I've never had this kind of connection with a pet before. She came into my life during a really hard time of change, and she was with me for over a decade. And when she passed away, the last thing I said to her was, "Promise me you'll find me again."
Yeah.
And so I wanted to write that song for her, like hoping that someday we'd reconnect somewhere. And writing is such a great way of processing hard things, because you get to make something that lasts forever out of something that doesn't.
Yeah. Oh, that's such a really insightful way to say that. Yeah. I love that.
Well, that's what I tell myself.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to put that song in right now.
What if I just started screaming in this restaurant, turning over tables like Jesus in the temple? What if I picked up my chair and started breaking windows? I never meant to be somebody so inconsequential, but I believe in reincarnation. And you said that's a pseudo-scientific claim, but I believe in reincarnation, 'cause I'm a different person every single day.
Okay, welcome back. We are almost finished. I have like 3 or 4 questions left. One of which is, you are a multidisciplinary artist as well as a musician, so you can really see it. I love the robust visuals you create, both your videos, but also your social content. Like for Demonology, it was like a scrapbook where every post was a different take on like your past and how it tied into the song, and I thought that was a really clever method. When you create your music, are you visualizing the art at the same time, or does it come later?
Oh, thank you for that question. I generally picture every song like a mini movie in my head, which is why I always wanted to make these interconnecting music videos. for Demonology, I was kind of talking about this earlier, but by the time it came out, the team that was so excited about it when we started, they were kind of freaked out by the message that they all signed off on. So we didn't have the budget to do this, to do these videos that we had talked about creating. I'd still really love to do that at some point, but I was excited to have the chance to actually start doing that with the Reincarnation EP. Of course, what I see in my head is always way too big budget for what I can actually accomplish as an indie artist at my level. So there are always a lot of compromises to be made and things that don't quite translate. But I just want to keep trying. I want to be able to direct my own videos. I built, with the help of my friends, my own sets for those. I love to do set design. Sometimes I wonder if I really secretly just want to be a set designer, and I am using my music as an excuse to do that.
Yeah.
I built this giant paper mache dancing brain for the nervous system video.
Yes.
For when we did have
That's
a video
what
for
I
that
was
song.
thinking of when I wrote this question, was the giant brain.
Most of these videos have had basically, little to no budget. I had a little bit more for the Reincarnation videos, but I just love making stuff. It keeps my hands busy. I don't know what I'm doing. I just kind of keep going until I don't hate the result. I very frequently also still kind of hate it, but
I mean, that's fair. But inside the simulation, you made stop motion too, right? You're very diverse in the type of art you're making.
I think if you're stubborn and willing to fail a lot and have to redo things a lot of times over and over again, anyone can do it. I think anyone can do anything for the most part, if you really want to. If you really are willing to suffer a little bit and hate yourself. I think anyone can be an artist. It's just the difference is whether or not you say, I want to be an artist someday. Or I think you just have to wake up and start saying, I'm an artist. And then you are. And just start making stuff.
There it is.
But as long as you're making stuff, you are an artist.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were just on tour with Ben Lapidus, and you're about to go on tour with Moselle. So what are some things you have to have with you when you go on tour?
If I don't have a weighted blanket or weighted pad with me, I can't sleep.
Okay.
And that is an absolutely obnoxious requirement.
To bring on the bus, yeah.
It sucks to bring a weighted blanket on the bus, but it sucks a lot more when you're flying.
When you don't sleep. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you're adding 8 to 10 pounds to your bag for no reason, so I can't bring a lot of other important items. It's harder to source a weighted blanket when you fly into a town than you would think. You kind of have to bring your own.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I just won't sleep without it. I will feel like I am going to die if I lay down and sleep without a weighted
And you're
blanket.
I don't like this.
I wish that I could pay 7 very quiet people to just sit on me while I'm trying to sleep. I think that would be finally enough pressure for me to feel comfortable.
Feel bad.
But
yeah,
that has to happen.
Okay. And then what's been your favorite cities to tour in?
Ooh, I love Philly, and maybe it's because Always Sunny was a special interest show for me for so many years, and I've seen every episode so many times.
I get it.
Yeah, there really is. There really is. It's beautiful, and there's great food. I love the energy of the crowd whenever we go to Philly. And I was told that
their citizens are fun.
They are. I was knighted in Philly as an honorary Philadelphian recently, so that's cool for me.
Congratulations, that's an honor.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate it.
And then do you have any pre-show mantras or rituals before you go on stage?
I wish I could. I think at the stage I'm at in my career, there is really very little predictability to what the backstage experience is going to be.
That's fair.
And I think I always want to come and hang out with everybody ahead of time. I think I really got in my head before a show. One crazy thing for me with the different types of neurodivergence and the way they manifest for me is I'm very clumsy, and I am just about to fall down at all times on stage and trying not to reveal that. I don't think I've done a show where I haven't hit my teeth really hard on the microphone at least 3 times because I don't know where I am. At least is it called proprioception? I think it's not good. And if there's something like a cord under my foot or something, that will ruin the entire experience for me if it feels like I'm standing on something with one foot that's not under the other foot.
Yeah.
These are things that should not matter and matter so much to me. So I try to make sure beforehand that I decompress so I can spend as much time with everyone as possible after the show and really put all my energy into delivering the best performance I can and making sure ahead of time that there won't be cords under my feet and that all my little things are where I know where I can grab them.
Yeah, that's enough of a ritual, though. It's like, okay, let's have everything where I need it to be so that I can just go on stage and perform to the best of my ability.
Well, then also, there's this thing, in every town, we have to locate a farmer who has a goat that they're willing to part with, and then we do a sacrifice in the basement. It's really chill, though, so I didn't think that was worth mentioning.
No. That's just like a casual thing you do, and it's fine.
I don't really
totally
do that,
fine.
but I do think that's what my parents think I do at my show. I
For
do
like a hot
think
second,
that
I was
is
like, what are they talking about? And then you said sacrifice, and it's like, oh yeah, no, I'm in on it now.
oh yeah, like everyone does. Yeah. No, I do think my family probably thinks that I think my family thinks there's a ceremonial skull that when we do floor time and we sit to sing together, we're all passing it around and drinking from it. And that's not the case. I don't have that kind of budget. I don't have that kind of budget for real blood and real skulls and stuff at this point.
But like, get like a fake skull and some like, I don't know, juice.
Oh no, I'm too authentic of an art. Like it's gotta be bone and it's gotta be blood or nothing.
All right, and you know what? Right now we're not ready, so it's nothing, and that's okay.
Nothing. Yeah, it's okay. One day. One day.
All right, I have my last two. It's the same two, final two, all the time for everyone. The first one is, what advice do you have for artists trying to break through the noise?
Love yourself well every day, no matter what anyone says. I saw this great meme from a successful author who said, don't pay any attention to your Amazon reviews because I got 3 stars because my book wasn't a package of Jimmy John's sauce or Jimmy Dean breakfast sausage that's what they thought they ordered, and they got a book and they just left a mean review that it wasn't breakfast sausage, and that's who we're dealing with a lot of the time on the internet. And I feel like demonology really broke through, and then now I'm trying to re-engage with a different algorithm. The algorithms don't always like the art we make. For American God, I got so many of my videos got my account flagged and almost deleted. But you just have to make the art that we make and put it out and believe in it regardless of what anyone else says. I mean, how long was Chapel Roan releasing music from an album that means so much to all of us before anyone caught on? It just takes time, and it's not about you. It's not about the art that you're making or the quality of it. Just keep doing it. Don't. I think that we only fail when we stop. Unless stopping is the success. Unless that's the thing you want to do too. Like, just make sure that it's about your happiness, because being on social media too much steals that joy really fast.
Yeah, the comparison is crazy. Because, like, even in this, being on this side of it, I had to sit down and, like, do my own analytics and look at what my own percentage growth was to feel better, because I was too busy comparing myself to other podcasts. And, like, that's not fair. I've only been at this a couple months. And, like, when I looked at my own progress, I was like, oh, this is growing. Maybe not as quickly as other people, but it's showing positive growth, and that's important. Don't compare yourself to other people. You have to do it because you love it, and that has to be enough for you.
I'm working on a song. One of the lines is like, no nepo autism, because I can't.
That's so good.
We can't we don't know what other people's
Right.
journeys look like. We don't know what kind of funding other people have for ad budget. I put small amounts of ad spend into things when I can and just keep trying to push it and keep trying to grow it. But there are folks with 100 times more ad spend going into videos than I can put in. I don't know. And some folks are getting millions of views organically. Everyone's different, but we can't know what everyone's journey looks like. We can only really focus on our own, and it can change like that. And the other thing too, I've seen so many artists that I love have these huge viral moments, and that doesn't necessarily translate into listenership and into streaming, into like growing your touring audience. It might just translate into somebody that clicked follow and maybe doesn't remember who you are the next time they see the video.
Right.
We just have to keep going, I guess.
Yeah. The only way out is through. All right. My last question before we finish up is, what is your music industry hot take? Which I'm sure after all these years in the industry, you probably have a couple.
The worst thing we ever did to art was commodify it.
Yep.
It's so hard to make. We have to eat. We have to exist under capitalism. We're stuck in it, and that's devastating. And I thought for a long time I really needed a major label to succeed. And then I signed. That was a devastating experience for so many other reasons. I almost quit and gave up.
I'm not surprised. Yeah.
I guess this is my hot take. I don't know why in the actual fuck major companies, managers, whoever, sign artists that they believe in because they believe in that art, and then don't let the artist make the art they want to make. They try to micromanage that art. They try to change that art. They try to make that art more marketable. Sign an artist you believe in, then let the artist make the art they make. Because if you try to influence and change that artist and make them into something else, it's going to fail.
They're no longer that artist.
They're
they're your product.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think so often, and not always, there are some wonderful, wonderful people in the industry too. But something I've seen a lot are folks who might have wanted to make art themselves, but didn't pursue that, kind of taking out that frustration on the artists that did choose the art path.
Yeah.
And that's happened to me many times.
Yeah.
Woof. And so I am not a business person. You might be surprised to learn. I am trying. And I have some great members on my team now I'm very thankful for, who do a great job. But it took a lot of heartbreak and a lot of me wanting to quit and then just not being able to get there. And I have to do a lot of it for myself, and I try to give myself a lot of empathy. I'm doing the best I can, but I wish there were more folks that just wanted to help the artists make the art they want to make and be part of that journey with them. That would be so valuable. We all need that, that would be cool.
And it's okay that you're not, like, to other business people, it's okay that you're not an artist. Like, not everyone needs to be.
Right.
Just be, be on the team and contribute what you can. But not everyone
I think it's
needs
such
to be making the art.
No, and it's such an art. I wish I had a brain that worked. I wish I had a brain that worked.
Well.
But I would love to be able to really nail a spreadsheet. That would be the biggest flex for me, and I think it's really cool when people can, and I wish I could be like them.
Like, damn, somebody's got to do it, but somebody also needs to make the art. Like, I
just would love to see like more coexistence of just actually working together instead of artists getting steamrolled.
I think that's fair, and I think you are probably really equipped to talk on that. So, yeah.
Again, I sang and spoke with a Southern accent for quite a while because my label wanted me to be the next Gretchen Wilson. Can you, now that you have met me here, and my favorite thing, they really wanted me to write a female empowerment anthem. That's what they kept saying they wanted.
Like
they wanted,
Woman?
yeah. But for the new generation, they kept saying they want to, okay, so I'm from Michigan, and you see me now, you know who I am, and I'm non-binary, so I was never equipped to write a female empowerment anthem, and I tried many times. I won't play these songs for anyone. They're so embarrassing, but I will tell you about them.
Okay.
There was Grown Ass Woman, which was basically just quotes I took from Pinterest about the female experience because I couldn't think of anything to say about it because, again, not a girl. Didn't know that then. And then there was Wild Woman.
Like, why isn't it clicking?
I did. I know. I spent my whole life just feeling crazy. Like, why? Yeah. I can write a murder ballad, but I don't know how to talk about
being a woman.
Yeah.
Seems to escape me.
Wild Woman was worse than Grown Ass Woman because it was like,
well, the title slaps. So
well, I think I was imagining for the visuals, which is I always do. I think I was imagining myself sort of dressed up like Tarzan or something.
Sure.
They were always so on the nose for whatever the theme was, but not good. Okay. And very very falsely empowering. Just awful. And I think about how the poor intern that was working at the label, who was being forced to listen to these songs, I'm assuming, as they would come in these demos, I'm sure they have them on a hard drive and just laugh about them sometimes, and they deserve to because they are that bad.
And you know what? That's allowed. As a treat.
They should be on catatonic youths. Yeah, they're awful. I'm so glad. I am every day thankful that none of those songs were released by because I would.
But it did not work out. Yeah.
Like, what if, you know, Rebecca Black could come back from Friday, but I'm not sure that I could have come back from Grown Ass Woman. I don't think so.
That's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. It didn't happen. You didn't have to.
No.
So there you go.
I didn't have to. No. Yeah.
All right, Candi. Well, that is all of my questions for you today. So thank you so much for coming. So tell us all of the dates you have coming up in September. So you have early September, you have an EP, or in early September you have a single. Which one?
The single coming out early September and the EP at the same time, and the short film.
You have a tour coming out. We're still finalizing the dates. Where can we follow you to keep an eye on all of this stuff?
Follow me at candicarpenter.com. There's links to everything all over the place there. It's a weird website, so I'm sorry in advance, but that's Candi with an I, Candi, carpenter.com. The way you remember that is it's like someone who builds gingerbread houses. It's a Candi Carpenter. And
full circle.
Instagram, TikTok, all those things. I'm on all those places. But what's really cool is I have an incredible Discord server that's very active, a wonderful community of ex-evangelical folks, neurodivergent folks, people just looking for community and building community. So come join us there. That's another great place to keep track of where the live shows are happening.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you so much. It was so great to meet you. I can't wait till you're in New York in October, and I will get to see you. So thank you.
'Cause hot girls always win.
Thanks for listening to Emily Spins It, presented by the Indie Music Network and Not Dead Yet Media. This episode was produced by Heather de Armas and edited by me, Emily Mills. Our intro and outro music is Hot Girls Always Win by Really Blonde. If you've enjoyed the episode, please support the podcast by sharing, subscribing, and leaving a review. You can also follow the show on Instagram and YouTube at Emily Spins It. For more shows about breaking through the noise, head over to the Indie Music Network podcast. If you have questions or feedback, contact us at notdeadyetmedia.com/contact.